Welcome to the Homer Method. I'm Homer, and this is the place where you'll learn how to build a solid foundation in economics and understand how money really works in real life.
In today's video, we are going to tackle the one question that keeps my inbox more cluttered than a teenager's bedroom. Humphrey, I finally managed to scrape together some extra cash, but how on earth do I invest it so it actually grows? Listen, if you are a beginner and you feel completely overwhelmed right now, that is perfectly normal. It's actually the sane response to a financial industry that is designed to sound like a mix between a foreign language and a magic trick. You hear terms like ETF, market orders, limit orders, and expense ratios, and your list window. But today, the confusion ends. I've crafted this guide as your definitive entry point, the only video you need to watch to master the art of making your money work harder than you do. You won't just know how to place your first trade. You'll have a permanent psychological shift in how you view wealth. I truly believe the next 20+ minutes will be the most profitable investment of your time on YouTube this year. So grab a coffee, grab a notebook, and if you have a cat, make the cat listen too, because everyone in your house needs to hear this. Before we dive into the 7 core pillars of investing, do your future self a huge favor. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell like it owes you money. This helps the algorithm find other people who are tired of being broke and brings them into our community. Let's start with the why. Why shouldn't fish just keep your money in a shiny, safe bank account? Well, because your bank account is actually a slow-motion leak. We call this leak inflation. The Federal Reserve has a target of 2 to 3% inflation every year to keep the economy healthy. But for you, that means your cash is slowly rotting. Let's look at my favorite economic indicator, the Chipotle Burrito Index. 6 years ago, and the burrito was $8.50. Now, you're lucky if you get out for under 12 bucks. If you had $50,000 sitting in a shoebox in 2019, you could have bought nearly 6,000 burritos. Today, that same money buys you roughly 1,700 fewer burritos. You lost a mountain of guac. The goal of investing is to make sure your purchasing power doesn't get eaten by the invisible thief. The goal of investing is to make sure your purchasing power doesn't get eaten by the invisible thief.
Over the last years, the stock market has returned an average of 8 to 10% per year. By investing, we land. You aren't just gambling. You are building a shield that outruns inflation.
The second reason we invest is the 8th wonder of the compound interest. How kind.
This is the concept that your money can have babies, and then those babies have babies, and then you have an entire army of dollar bills working for you while you sleep. Imagine you have $1,000. If you earn 10%, you get $100. Nice, but not life-changing. But in the second year, you aren't 10% on 1,000, you're earning it on 1,100. Over 20 years, that initial $1,000 becomes over $6,700 without you lifting a finger. Now, scale that up. If you had $1 million earning 10%, that is $100,000 a year in passive income. The game of wealth isn't about working harder, it's about accumulating a large enough army of dollars that their combined labor replaces your own.
There are a million things you can invest in. You can buy real estate, gold bars, fine art, or rare Charizard cards.
But for most people, the stock market is the ultimate winner for 3 reasons: entry level, predictable returns, and liquidity. Liquidity is just a fancy word for how fast can I turn this into cash if I need to buy a pizza. If you buy a $500,000 house, you can't exactly sell the kitchen next Thursday because you're short on rent. You have to list it, find a buyer, wait for inspections, and deal with banks. It takes forever. With stocks, you can buy a share of Coca-Cola in the morning and sell it in the afternoon. It is the most flexible wealth-building tool on. And when we talk about the market, we are usually talking about the S&P 500, the 500 biggest, baddest companies in America. This index is basically the final boss of. It goes up, it goes down, But historically, it trends upward like a slow-motion rocket ship.
To start, you need a brokerage account. Think of this as a bank account, but instead of just sitting there,
The money has a buy button. In the US, you have 401(k)s and IRAs. These are retirement accounts. They give you massive tax breaks. But the catch is that the government locks your money in a financial dungeon until you're 60. If you want more flexibility, you use a standard brokerage account. You pay taxes on your gains, but you can withdraw the money whenever you want. In 2026, the process of opening these is easier than ordering a pizza. You download an app like Robinhood, Fidelity, or Schwab, link your bank, and you are officially a capitalist.
this is where beginners usually mess up. They see a TikTok about a new AI-powered dog
Walking drone company and put all their money into it. This is a great way to go broke.
Instead of picking individual companies, which requires you to read boring financial reports all day, we use Index. Imagine a basket. Instead of putting one egg in the basket, an S&P 500 ETF coral. If one egg breaks, who cares? You have 499 others.
You are safe. And best of all, there is no high-priced manager taking a cut of your profits.
But Humphrey, the market is at an all-time high. Surely I should wait for a crash?
Statistically, the market is at an all-time high about 21 days every year. If you wait for a crash, if you missed just the 10 best days in the market over the last 30 years, your total returns would be cut in half. We use a strategy called dollar cost averaging. Instead of trying to be a market psychic, you just invest a set amount every month, say $500. When prices are high, you buy a little less. When prices are low, you buy a lot more. Over time, you win. It removes the scary part of investing and turns it into a boring, reliable habit.
Before you put a single dollar into the market, you need to look in the mirror.
How would you feel if you woke up tomorrow and your $10,000 was suddenly worth $7,000?
1,000? If you would vomit and sell everything, you have a low risk tolerance. The younger you are, the more risk you should take. If the market crashes when you're 22, it doesn't matter because you have 40 years for it to recover. If you're 60, you need to be more careful. Investing is 10% math and 90% temperament. Don't invest money you need for rent next month. Only invest money you are willing to leave alone for at least 5 years. Now, let's get practical. I'm going to show you exactly how to buy a share of VOO on the Ford, Robinhood. It's so simple your grandma could do it, though she'd probably prefer to buy gold. When you open the app, you see your balance. You hit the search bar and type VOO. You'll
See the price, let's say it's $611. You hit trade, then buy.
But wait, you don't have to buy a whole share. If you only have $50, you can buy
fractional shares. This is one of the coolest features of modern investing. You can own a piece of the 500 biggest companies for the price of a fancy dinner.
I'll also show you limit orders. This is for the control freaks. Instead of buying at whatever orders,
I will only buy VOO if it hits $600. We'll sit there like a loyal dog, waiting for the price to drop, and then, snap, it buys it for you automatically.
investing is not about being a genius. It's about being consistent. It's about realizing that every dollar you save and invest today is a gift to your future self.
If you follow this plan, opening an account, buying broad market ETFs, and automating your
Contributions, you are virtually guaranteed to be in a better spot than 99% of the population. And don't forget to check out my other videos on the 100K explosion and why the first 6 figures are the hardest. The market is open, the burritos are getting more expensive, and your future is waiting. Go out there and start your capitalist journey. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!